Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2018, at the center of the video game universe. We've got exclusives, hands-on demos, and brand new trailers right here at IGN.com and Disney XD. Be sure to hit us up on Twitter by tagging us at IGN and using the hashtag E3 2018 so you can weigh in on what you think should be the best game of the show. We'll announce the winner this Thursday on IGN.com. And don't forget to download the IGN app for all the latest news. Up ahead, we've got Hitman 2, and later we're going to play a little Spider-Man. And at 4 p.m. Pacific, make sure you head over to IGN.com, where we will have the live coverage of the Fortnite 50v50 Celebrity Pro-Am stream everyone is talking about. But now, to help us dip our toes into the world of assassination, let's welcome one of our own, IGN's Sydney Goodman, and the minds behind Hitman 2, Christian Elverdam and Jacob Mickelson. You guys, what is new in Hitman 2?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of new missions for you to take on. And then we've added a bunch of new features to the game as well, such as the crowd mechanic, where you can dip into the crowd. So if you get into trouble, you can seek refuge in there for the guards, so they have a hard time finding you in there. And then, of course, we have the much asked for fan favorite, which is the sniper suitcase. So the suitcase is back, and that allows you to carry around a sniper rifle without causing kind of getting attention to yourself. And this time around, we also kind of took it one step further, so you can also store all sorts of stuff in this suitcase. So it's not just sniper rifles this time around. Besides, and then of course lots of adjustments under the hood, vision system upgrades, and all sorts of things.
Wow. So I know that with this game, it is going to be released day and date, the whole game, instead of being episodic. What went into that decision?
I think it was important for us to deliver the story. I think I wouldn't say the game is delivered on day and date because there's so much going on afterwards. But it felt important to us to take back the feedback from a lot of players who wanted to engage with the entire story, and it's fitting because the story is ongoing. It continues from 1 to 2, so it felt like it's meaningful for us because everything that happens in the game moves closer to Agent 47 and Diana this time.
Yeah. So I know that personally, with the episodic release, it forced me to get really creative and just replay levels. Is there anything that you guys are going to continue doing, or something that will incentivize players to continue to be creative?
Well, of course, in the live tail end of the game, there will be lots of challenges for you to kind of accomplish. There will still be escalation contracts coming, and by doing everything at once, we have more places to kind of inject these things afterwards as well, so we can create more variety. So instead of staying in one place, then we can send you all the different places at once. And then, of course, the elusive targets are coming back. So there will be more on the edge of the seat gaming. That's, at least personally for me, it's those missions can still get my heart pounding.
So obviously you guys went through a major change in publisher between the first and the second game. How has that changed the development of Hitman 2?
Well, I think it's in a way we've been focused on building Hitman from day one, and to the credit of our team back home, that focus has been razor sharp throughout. So I'd say in the daily life of the studio, there's not been a big change, and we're building Hitman games, right? Obviously, it's nice to work with a new partner, but it's the life of game development. I want to say that also, it's been really wonderful to announce the game this time around. Also, you talked about way back when we announced the first Hitman game. Or Hitman 1, obviously not the first Hitman game. A lot of people were asking us whether it was going to be Hitman that they knew and loved from sort of the legacy of the franchise. And we were pretty adamant in saying, we're bringing back this formula that we believe is the proper way of doing a Hitman game. So this time around, we feel super comfortable because they know what we're going to do, right? And in this case, it's easy to talk about Miami in that light, that people know just how deep a Hitman level truly is and how much you have to dig into it to find all the things you can do.
Yeah, and I think one of those pillars of Hitman is that creativity, and just everything, pretty much anything that you see in the level is fair game to use to attack somebody. Do you have a favorite kind of non-weapon weapon that's in the game?
Well, personally for me, I think I actually my favorite distraction in the game, that's when I place my weapon in the scene and then have guards, that's not supposed to be there, and then they wander off, because that creates a very long window for me to do to continue my devious plans, right? So that's one of the ways. And then, of course, in Miami, we have the fish, which I think it's already everybody's favorite. It's hilarious.
When it comes to level design, obviously, like Sydney said, you guys have to get really, really creative. How do levels start from the ground up? Do you decide where they are and then start putting crazy stuff in them? Like, how do you decide where crowds are? It seems like it's pretty complicated.
I think that this is one of these things where, first up, we typically start with some sort of, we have a story that we want to tell with the targets, and then we have a setting. And then, a lot of thinking goes into, so how is this thing laid out overall? We begin to consider all the disguises. So which are the powerful disguises, which are the bad disguises, where can they go? And all this logistics about how is the thing actually shaped. And then I love this point where we begin to see the graphics come in, because then all of a sudden that begins to go back into the design, because then the designer gets new ideas, because all of a sudden there's a refrigerator or something that can be turned into a trap and something like that. In Miami, we have a good example coming up in a moment with these. There's some disco balls in the VIP lounge, and they were put in as graphic pieces, and then someone said, "Hey, that's an accident waiting to happen.
You need to be able to drop those."
Yes. Exactly, right. They look like they could fall, and now they can, right? So that's some of it, right? So in the case of Miami, we settled on a race event because we wanted to do something really, really spectacular. Mm-hmm. And then when we choose an event like this, then of course there's a whole slew of supporting kind of features in a race like so pits and paddocks and backstage.
I love that this footage says Fountain Dew and Dr. Pep. Very smart avoidance of brand names there.
It's Dr. Pop.
But what we're also seeing is this ever sort of ongoing ambition to say we want to go behind the scenes at whatever event we want to portray. Mm-hmm. So you'll go everywhere in a level, not just the surface that you might be able to, if you were attending an endurance race in real life, you get to see certain parts. But in this case, it's also a promise of going behind the scenes and seeing every little thing that could be going on. And that takes a lot of imagination from Jacob and his team.
You've even got a mascot taking a break here.
Yeah, actually, well, there's a small story to this guy, because the level is kind of littered with all sorts of stories, right? And this mascot is actually not the real mascot.
Oh.
The real mascot has been knocked out, and he's lying a bit kind of further down the corridor.
Wow.
And then this guy's he has a plan which involves Sharon Knox.
Oh, there are other people with plans here too, huh?
Yeah, I love that intersecting of like these non-playable characters. They have agendas and they have stuff going on. And also just watching this level, it looks like there's just so many layers. You're in a super busy area, and now it looks like picking up a gun in the garage.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole what do you need to pull off an event, right? And sometimes when being at the office is like, so not only are we making a video game, but we are also event managers on a race event, right? So
it's so cool. Trying to simulate a racing event, that's absolutely hard. For stuff like that, do you consult people?
I was just going to ask that.
We talk to people who know, have you ever been there, and that kind of stuff. I've been so fortunate, so I've once attended Le Mans backstage many years ago. That kind of have felt me kind of, what to expect from this. That's just me being lucky. But we go to places. We did a recon tour in Miami as well. So people have been over here and taking photos.
Some events and location you can obviously lean on advice. Others it's a little bit more tricky, like when we do a medical facility hidden in the mountains of Hokkaido. It's a little different.
So beautiful. So I don't want to put you in danger, but do you actually consult assassins? How do you get these wild ideas? Or just, because really the psychology of an assassin is pretty intense, I'd imagine. How do you get inside the mind of Agent 47?
That's a good question. I think it's we've been doing it for so long, right? So there's something where it's second nature, right? I can feel it again.
Did you say it's second nature to be an assassin?
Yeah,
absolutely.
You guys are all actually assassins. The whole video game thing is around.
Don't go too far, Jacob.
But I think that stuff like going to work, and then there's some construction workers with a crane hoisting something up. okay, that's an accident. It's like that's the thing you begin to kind
Start thinking about.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
So it'd be
funny.
really hard to kill anybody that works at I.O. because you're
are
always
so
looking
ready.
around for what could potentially harm you.
I think Jacob is in many ways Mr. Hitman. So when we were leaving, actually to come here, we were leaving the E3 area, and we were sort of pointed to an exit. And as we leave it, the first thing Jacob says to us, he stops and says, "Hey, did you guys notice this? This exit is actually completely unguarded."
Notice the level design.
It's an occupational hazard, I think.
But speaking of, Agent 47 being an assassin, I felt like Hitman, it's so weird to call it Hitman. The previous Hitman, he had a lot more heart. What are you guys trying to do to make him a more relatable and more likable character?
Well, yeah, I think we're working with characters around him to a quite a large extent. So for the first time in the history of the franchise, we actually have people who survived the previous Hitman game. Obviously, Diana is there, but also there's hints to 47's past, and by way of allowing other characters to have a sort of witnessed parts of 47's life and the interaction with them is a good way of telling the story around a guy who's actually left emotionless from his past.
It's like he has friends for the first time ever. Kind of nice.
Touching.
You could say that. The stuff is starting to bubble or appear in his memory as well. So I think we wanted to not. In many people's mind, he is emotionless, and he's in a way a canvas where you express yourself as a player, and we wanted to respect that when we told the story this time. So we sort of figured out, hey, let's tell the story around him with the characters around him as well, and see how he reacts as obviously things progress. I won't go into spoiler territory, but things will happen in Hitman 2, absolutely.
Things will happen in Hitman. Okay. I love that. You're like, I sure
like
hope so.
that.
No, but it is nice. I found the story in Hitman really interesting, and I just wonder if it is a difficult balance writing a character who effectively doesn't have emotions.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what Michael was working a lot on with, right? To make this story interesting. I think we're not going to spoil it, but I think in this Hitman 2. The story gets more interesting in 47, where the previous game was a bit more kind of there was a layer between 47 and the story, and this next iteration is going to be very interesting to see.
We're very excited to find out more about that. So that was one way to play through the Miami level, but next we're taking a look at a more creative way of playing through the game.
IGN Live at E3 2018 is presented by Sicario Day of the Soldado. Only on the big screen June 29th.
Random events, accidents, countless possibilities, converging at a single point in time. Yet there is only one truth: cause, effect. We live in a world of assassins. And the best of them all is Agent 47.
The president's adding drug cartels to the list of terrorist organizations.
So you want a Sicario?
No rules this time.
Adios.
And this girl was witness to the mission.
You gotta get rid of her.
I can't do that. You have no reason to trust me, but trusting me is how you're gonna survive.
Good luck.
Luck doesn't live on this side of the border.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado, rated R.
back again to IGN Live at E3 2018. Coming up, we've got Ghosts of Tsushima, and later, our Spidey sense is tingling for all the new Spider-Man content. And finally, we're getting a look at Cyberpunk 2077. You don't want to miss any of that. But right now, let's dive back into Hitman 2. With me is Sydney Goodman, who knows more than a little about Hitman 2, because you're actually one of the first people to play it. What did you think of it?
I was stoked.
Yeah?
I loved it. I thought it was super... It just took everything to the next level. Obviously, the last game was immersive, as all of those Hitman games are, but I just felt like this was incredible. So obviously, I had a chance to play Miami in depth.
Yes.
And we took a little bit of a different approach than what we just saw. It got a little intense. So why don't we check that out now?
Okay.
What's up, everyone? I'm Sydney Goodman, and I am joined with Sven Liebold of IO Interactive. We're here talking Hitman 2. You probably saw this Miami level on our stage, but in true Hitman form, there are so many different ways to take out your target. So we're going to take you through a playthrough right this very second.
The basic setup is we need to take out Sierra Knox, and we need to do it with a remote explosive. The thing is, Sierra Knox is in her race car, and she's actually participating in the race right now.
That makes it difficult.
Exactly. Stop here.
Stop here.
Because we need to get frisked.
Okay, yes.
Because it's an event after all, right?
That's true. Gotta be safe.
Gotta be safe.
Look out for any... Oh, I could knock him out. I'm not going to.
It's all about temptations with our game, right?
But I would just like to point out, I'm exercising a lot of self-control right now by not knocking this man out.
That's why I'm calling it out. There's a lot of commotion. There's a lot of people. There's actually...
A lot of people.
We have 2,000 characters in this level, which is kind of crazy.
So what is the mission? I know it says in the corner we're supposed to eliminate
if you hit
Sierra.
your instinct mode, you can see Sierra here coming up in a car.
Okay, and so we want to take her out.
Right. So in order to do that, we have to get close to her. We have to get close to the car.
Yes.
And good way to do that might be a pit stop.
So there are a lot of different ways to accomplish this, but we're choosing the mechanic route, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. We're on our route to the parking lot to find our concealed stuff.
Exactly. Okay, so take a left here.
So just so we're clear, I would prefer to kill a lot of people.
It's all good.
Okay, so we can open the van.
Let's open the van, and then inside we find our gun.
We got our gun.
And our remote explosive.
Oh, I dropped it.
You dropped the gun.
Okay, come back.
And we might want to close the door, because we're not racing a barn, right?
Yeah, my mom taught me better. Okay. So are you positive I can't kill these people?
I'm very positive on that.
Okay.
I mean, you can.
I'm going to go against my better judgment and trust you on this.
Trust me on this. And now walk the way around again.
Got it. So this is...
Now we're distracting the security guard, and he will check out what's going on there, and that's when we grab him.
And that's when we kill him.
No, grab him.
We grab him.
Or you can kill him. Well, just do whatever you like.
See, I'm just following... I see he's knocked out. It's fine.
Okay, now we grab him.
We're going to snap his neck.
All right. Okay, good.
I slipped.
So right on the left of you or behind you now, there's a little dumpster we can put him in. How convenient, right?
That's so nice. Great. Oh, that's not nice. there were a lot of flies.
We're gonna head through the VIP access here, because now we're security. Nobody cares, right?
What's up, buddy? What's your favorite Hitman weapon that's not a weapon?
The fish.
Oh my gosh.
I like slapping people with fish.
Okay, so
the plan is we're gonna wait until he leaves the table, because he's gonna check out the race, looks at the race a bit, and then he's coming back to the table and drink some more wine. So you might want to poison the wine.
I want to poison the wine.
You want to poison the wine.
So do we have poison?
No, we don't. What makes a lot of sense is probably being a waiter to do that. So we have to become a waiter.
Cool. Okay, so to get the mechanic, we need to be the waiter.
So now we have a waiter here and also a chef.
A chef here.
All right.
I'll close that door.
So when we take out the waiter, the chef would notice. So we need to find a way to split him up. So I would say head all the way down to the cold storage.
Okay. Also, I just saw that fish you were mentioning.
Yeah, maybe we need that in a second.
Okay.
And if you look at the table, there is a radio.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a knife.
There's also a knife.
I see the knife.
For you.
Okay.
Maybe you want to take the knife. And
yes!
Yes!
So there's a lot of blood.
I wonder why. So.
Is that something I should be worried about? Will that be noticed?
Yes, it will be noticed actually. But since you contained the situation by killing the chef as well,
then
I think we're fine.
So the answer to all our problems is just keep killing.
To your problem.
This is to my problem. Sorry.
Okay, so if you look around a bit, there's a whole room filled with food, and if we have a room full of food in our game, there's a good chance you might find some rat poison.
That sounds. Rat poison seems like a good thing to.
Yeah, there's some rat poison on the shelf, so you have to
over
get quick
here,
in
this
there.
one.
Yeah. So on your left.
Oh, I see.
You see it up there? Yeah, there it is.
I see it.
Okay.
Again, eye on the prize. We're getting.
All right.
The mechanic.
Choose the rat poison.
Okay. Cool. Now we wait. It's a waiting game right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody I can kill in the meantime.
There's a lot of people you could kill, but we don't. Now we leave our spot and follow him again.
Okay. I have to go get stuff from the fridge.
And I'll take a left.
Where did he go? Oh.
You take a left.
Take a left.
See him up there?
I see him.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like he's in some pain. He's hurting, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's heading in there.
And he will be hurting a little bit more after I kill him.
I don't even look how you take him out. Oh,
it's fine.
what?
I didn't,
you just choked him out?
I just choked him out. I didn't do anything.
Besides breaking his neck. Okay.
No.
All right.
So we're a mechanic.
We're a mechanic. So let's head through the door here.
Okay, so Sierra Knox.
Sierra Knox.
We're coming for you. Dang it, we didn't pick up the fish. I meant to pick up the fish.
Oh, you can.
To do your.
You know what? Let's pick up the fish. I mean,
we
we can't do this without the fish.
Can't
Go
do it
back to the
without
kitchen.
I was gonna say, I'll take it. Nobody will notice that I have a. Oh, I dropped it again. Dang it. Old habits
Okay, cool.
Die
We have
hard.
it.
We got the fish.
All right. Now.
We're walking this way.
Okay. Now let's open the door.
Perfect.
And if you look to your right, there is the pit crew. Busy, busy, busy. So now
I shouldn't kill anybody here.
No. In the middle is the chef mechanic. She just needs to notice us.
Great. This is your lucky day.
I guess I am.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So see this contraption here, like
This
a couple of
one.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. So we go there, hold Y.
Hold Y.
In this case, we're gonna forward explosive.
Okay,
so
install
press Y.
remote explosive.
We want to see this whole thing happening,
I would
right?
really
so
like to
let's
see
head
her
back to
explode.
the grandstand, and then
Okay.
we make it happen.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay,
You know what? I have an idea.
give me the idea.
Let's just follow this flamingo dude for a little bit. You
Good.
might want to go ahead of the flamingo.
Okay.
And go through the door.
Oh my gosh, look at that smug walk. Okay,
Okay, now walk all the way down there.
walk all the way down.
Now
Okay.
pull out your fish.
So now my fish is here.
Okay, now you go for the face of the flamingo dude.
So I'm.
Yeah,
here.
and throw the fish in the face.
Oh! Got him.
Okay, you got him.
That was the most satisfying thing I think I've ever done in a video game.
Throwing a fish into someone's face.
Yes. Does Agent 47 ever feel dumb for the costumes he wears, or no? He's
I don't think so.
Such a professional.
I think he
doesn't
kind of
even-
enjoys it in a very
Oh.
weird
Wait, okay.
way.
This guy is suspicious of us,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna.
Now, if you stop here for a second
Okay.
and look to your left, here, there's like this little gap we want to go through.
Here.
And then we want to go up the stairs of this riser and
Up the-
stop. And now you blend in as a flamingo.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Oh my gosh!
So and
Agent 47.
people will start to react
been
and
doing
clapping
yoga.
like,
Wait, look
yeah,
at- look at
awesome,
this."
flamingo dude. Now walk all the way through till
Okay.
you hit the barrier up
Out of
there.
my way. Get out of my way, bud. Okay, so now we're going up to the barrier. We have installed a remote explosive on
Mm-hmm.
Sierra Knox's car, and we're about to detonate.
Okay, now if you look to your right a little and hit your instinct,
Okay.
a little bit more. See, she's
Okay,
coming
she's
up right
coming.
now. So go
So
to your
now-
inventory,
Inventory.
pull out your detonator.
Gold coin kitchen knife. Electronic explosive detonator.
All right.
Okay.
And press it.
Boom goes the dynamite. Look at that. I
That's
just
the guy.
orchestrated that.
You did it.
That was me. Thank you so much, Sven, for taking us through one of the many ways that you could finish this level. Don't forget, you get Sniper Assassin mode right when you pre-order Hitman 2, which is available globally on November 13th for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And don't forget to keep it locked at IGN.
Sydney, is everything okay at home?
You know, I have to get my aggression out. I am just doing it in the game, so
Just in
that
the game.
I am a very sweet person.
It actually, it looks like a lot of fun though. There was so many costume changes there. And I know like that's kind of a staple of the series, but that was like 4 in one setting that you went through there. And that was just one approach, right?
That was just one approach. And actually what Sven was telling me is for the demo, they only opened half of the level.
Oh, wow.
So there's a whole other half that I did not see. And there's actually a second target. And there's apparently like a hospital. He told me that you can drop like a giant whale on somebody. I didn't see any whales, so I can only imagine why there's a giant whale suspended in the air.
You need those in Miami. It helps with temperature.
I've heard that.
Humidity, yes. It's basic science. No, it does seem like this one's kind of more crazy. You can slap people with a fish this time around. Were there any other crazy weapons that you got to try out?
So the fish and the throwing knife were, which the knife isn't new, but were the 2 weapons that we use. I mean, I personally tend to just like come up behind people and attack them. But those were the ones we used. I know he said something about an iron.
Cool.
Which is cool. I think also I don't know what that's called. You know those little statues, but it's just the head, like the upper body?
Like a bust?
Yes, a bust. So you can use a bust. I don't know. I just was so surprised about how intensely immersive it was.
Yeah.
So they touched on it when we were talking to them earlier, but there's these subplots of like, this mascot's upset with the other mascot and took his costume and da-da-da-da-da. And I can only imagine, I mean, they said there's 2,000 NPCs in that level.
I mean, that seems like something that's pretty new to the franchise. I feel like it hasn't had as much subplots inside of levels. And I think that's really cool. Was the voice acting interesting? Were the characters all interesting?
To be honest with you, when we played that, I did not play it with audio, in my head.
Gotcha.
We just had it.
So you couldn't hear it perfectly?
So I couldn't hear it perfectly, but I heard enough like with the mascots. But something else that I don't know that it was in the playthrough as much, but they were telling me about all these new features that basically make the game more difficult.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yes.
Is it hard? Because that's one of my favorite things about it is I'm kind of bad at it, but I have fun with it.
It totally. No, I mean, like, it's definitely something where you could probably finish these levels as somebody who's bad at it.
Yeah.
But you just won't get a high score. But
I just end up having to kill a lot of people.
And just sprint to the end.
It's a problem.
That is one approach. You got to do what you got to do. But with the crowds, you can duck, is what they were saying. So you can kind of dip out, dip in, be a little stealthy. And then there's mirrors. This is actually what I thought was insane. So there's mirrors, and if there's somebody else that would be able to see what your action via the mirror.
A mirror. That's really smart level design.
It's a working mirror.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, thank you for filling us in on Hitman 2. Can't wait to actually play it myself. We've got to take a break right now, but up next is a special live episode of Game Scoop, and later one of the hottest games of the show. It's Spider-Man.